How you doing? I'm Darren with Kickin Barbecue. If this is your first time to the channel, then welcome. If you've been here before, then welcome back. Today, we're talking tri-tip. We're gonna be cooking this tri-tip just like a brisket. Normally, I would trim this up, I would reverse sear it to a nice medium rare, but I've had a few friends who've had success cooking them like a brisket, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna prep it exactly like a brisket, we're gonna smoke it like a brisket, so let's bring you guys in and show you exactly how we do this. All right guys, before we get into this, I just wanted to mention this is a collaboration video. My buddy Ricky from Ricky's Foods is also cooking a tri-tip like a brisket. We've heard from a few people it's good. We decided to try it out and then we were like, hey, let's do a collaboration on it. He's cooking one on his Pit Boss Platinum Series Casey combo. He's gonna be doing a little bit of in-depth on the grill and everything else. And I think he might have a little bit of bonus with the tri-tip, so be sure you go and check him out. I'm gonna link his channel in the description below. I'm gonna link his Instagram in the description below. Awesome guy, fantastic cook, great photos, killer videos. Be sure to check him out, tell him I sent you, and hey, let's just get into this. All right, you can see we have our completely untrimmed tri-tip here. We have the fat cap on it. We're gonna go ahead and leave the majority of that, but this top fat we're gonna go ahead and take off just so we can get nice rub application. It doesn't inhibit any bark or anything like that. So I'm just gonna get this top fat taken off and we'll check back in. All right guys, you can see we have the tri-tip here. It's all trimmed up, no real hard fat or silver skin on top. We did leave the majority of the fat cap on here just to kind of protect the meat. We're gonna be cooking a little bit lower and slow today, 250 to 275. Usually I cook my briskets at 300, but just wanna protect this meat from drying out, so we're gonna keep it a little lower today. So the first thing we're gonna do to prep this is we're gonna hit the bottom with a little bit of Worcestershire sauce. Just give it a nice little coating there. And then we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna use some Suckle Busters SPG. Just go ahead and hit the bottom a little bit. Then we'll follow that up with a little Suckle Busters Hoochie Mama. I can get too crazy on the bottom here. Let's flip it over. We're gonna repeat the same for the other side. So that's looking pretty good. We're gonna go out and we're gonna get the Pit Boss Lockhart fired up and we're just gonna prepare to smoke this bad boy up. So I'll check back in when we get back outside. All right guys, you can see we got the tri-tip on, it's looking good. Rocking on the Pit Boss Lockhart today. We're gonna be running at 250 degrees and I've never cooked a tri-tip like this before, so we're gonna learn on this together. I'm gonna let it go for an hour and then we may get a probe in it and just see how we're looking, but right now we're just gonna let it do its thing and we'll come back and check on it in an hour, so we'll see you guys then. All right guys, so it's been 1 hour. You can see the tri-tip's looking really good. We're currently sitting at 110 degrees internal, still rocking at 250. So we're just gonna let this thing do its thing and we'll check back in another hour, so we'll see you guys then. It's been 2 hours. Look at that color we got going on there. It's looking awesome, starting to sweat a little bit. Just gonna give it a little spritz. Nothing crazy, that's all we're gonna do. Right now we are sitting at 147 degrees internal. You can see it's crusted up nice, it's plumped up a bit. It's looking absolutely awesome. So we're just gonna let this thing rock and we'll come out and check it once it hits 165 degrees internal. And then we'll figure out what we're gonna do with the wrap. But yeah, so far so good, and man, that color looks awesome. So we'll check back in here when we hit 165 degrees and I'll update you how long it's been. I'm guessing maybe about another hour or so. So we'll see you guys then. All right guys, so it's been 3 hours. I just pulled it off. We're gonna get it wrapped up. We're sitting at 155 degrees internal. Got a nice smoky smell to it. The bark is set, none of it's coming off. It's looking really good. You can see the fat cap is doing its job protecting the meat. So we're just gonna get this wrapped up, add a little liquid to it. We'll get it back out on the pit and we'll finish it off. We'll probe it obviously, and we're gonna start checking for tenderness around 200 degrees. So let's get this wrapped up and we'll get it back out there. All right, all I'm gonna add to this wrap here is I have a little beef base, and we're just gonna add that in. Not the whole thing, but so that's looking pretty good. We'll just add that in, and we'll go ahead and seal this up. All right, we're wrapped up nice and tight. What we're gonna do is we'll go ahead and probe it, and I'll pick back up with you guys when it's time to pull it off and let you know what the total cook time was. But I'm gonna get this back out on the pit, and I'll pick back up once we reach probe tenderness. So we'll see you guys then. All right, guys, just wanted to give you a quick shot of how this looks out here. So we just got it wrapped, got it back out here. We got our probe in. So yeah, like I said, once it hits 200 degrees, we'll start checking for probe tenderness, and I'll pick you guys back up when I know it's good and done and show you how it's looking. So we'll see you guys then. All right, guys, welcome back. So I would have filmed outside when we checked it, but my neighbor was out there doing construction. As I mentioned earlier, it was just real loud with the saws going and stuff. So it ended up being another hour and a half after the wrap. Probe tender at around 203 to 205 degrees, depending on where you were probing. So I did bring it inside. I opened the foil and let it steam off, and doing that allows the bark to reset itself. And then I just had it resting on the counter for about an hour. So let's slice into this and see how it looks. I'm a little nervous. Like I said, I've never done this before. I've seen people do it and they've had good results, but when you have a expensive tri-tip, at least here for me they're expensive, I'm hoping it turns out good. So let's bring you guys in and show you how it looks. All right, so let's get this opened up here. I'm gonna try and save our liquid so we can keep that for when we're done slicing. It's still pretty warm here. See, it looks good. We got some good color and stuff. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start giving it a slice. Take a look at it there. You can see that it's actually got a little bit of a smoke ring. It's actually really moist, which surprises me. Now we're starting to get into the part of the tri-tip where the grain's running the opposite way. So I'm just gonna get one or two more slices here, and then we're gonna just go ahead and start slicing it against the grain this way. Again, nice and moist. See the moisture in there? So I'll bring you guys out here and we'll give it a little taste test. So just a second. All right, guys, let's give it a shot. I can't wait to try it anymore. I'm very excited. Get me a little piece here. I'm gonna hit some of the jus. Cheers. Wow. The Suckle Busters rub, I mean, always killer. Love it on brisket. It's really good on this. It doesn't have the texture of brisket, which I didn't expect it to. I'd say it's kind of like a roast, which makes sense because I believe they say it's a tri-tip roast. It's good. I'm not disappointed that I tried it. I'm really glad that I did try it. That being said, I really do prefer it medium rare. Man, I don't know. It's one of those things that it tastes really good. I can see it growing on me, but as far as I'm concerned, it's hard to beat a medium rare tri-tip. This is delicious. Don't get me wrong. I wanted to try this for a long time. I'm glad I tried it. I have no regrets. But now that I've tried it, I mean, you can see it's tender, clearly. I mean, duh. But I love that medium rare steak beefiness that a tri-tip has. And this is good. It's definitely beefy. But the texture is a lot different. I'm not 100% sure that I would do this again. Maybe if somebody wanted to try it, I would do it. But for me, A medium rare tri-tip's the way to go. All in all, like I said, I'm glad I did this. It was something I've been wanting to do for a long time. This is how we learn. This is how we get better. Like I said, it's tender. I don't think this is something I would do again personally. If you like the texture of a roast, yeah, I mean, the flavor is awesome. Don't get me wrong. It's just the texture to me. It kind of seems like a well done steak, but it's tender. So kind of hard to explain. That being said, hey, if you guys want to give it a try, go for it. I'm glad we got to experience this together. Maybe you were on the fence about this and I swayed you one way or the other. Like I said, not knocking this at all. Some people probably love this. Me, I like a nice medium rare steak. I mean, cut the horns off and just throw it on a plate. That's how I like my beef. That being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to like, subscribe, ring that bell, and hey, we'll see you guys next time. Stay safe.